Hello guys, welcome back to yet another and important video here on my channel. Before continuing this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button right away for more Need for Speed Heat videos, and of course, if you have any video requests, write them below. In today's video we are going to talk about how to drift in Need for Speed Heat. It's a very important subject for me, since I love to drift in video games, and yes, it's a hope for this game as well. It's not a top 3 drift game, but it works somehow. It's just a new way to drift in a game. It kinda do half the job for you, and the rest is all up to you. This game, it's not realistic of any sort. If the only thing you are looking for in a video game is a good drift game, this is not a game for you, sadly. It's been some very long days finding the best settings / the best way to learn to drift. I had all this figured out the same day this game came out, in fact, but they had some improvements now and then, and a video like this doesn't make itself, so it took some weeks, but here we are with the final result. The most important thing is the setup of the car you are using. This video is more like getting you started to learn to drift. It's hard to just make a video and in the next second you are a master in drifting. That's not how things works. I will try my best to help you get started to drift in this game the good way. I had some hours with a very bad tune that I thought was the best tune, since it's common sense that drift parts should be the best parts to do drift events and so, but it turned out it isn't. You can manage to get some high amount of points with the drift parts, since you're going so wide with them. So before you go out to do some drift practice, be sure you got the setup right. And don't worry, I will try my best to make some drift tunes in the future for many cars. I already done this car, the Volvo 242 and the RX-7, and I did buy 3 more cars that I will do a build on, so stay tuned for that. In the first drift event in this game, you kinda get an idea how drifting works in this game. Sadly, the tune of that car was so terrible. So before tuning this car, enjoy this little montage of me building this car. Sounds very nice. So now guys, let's see how you should tune your drift car. First of all, the engine. Crankshaft, ECU, cooling, exhaust, turbo, nitrous, and engine swap for that matter. The Silvia I am using today has the 3.8 V6 engine, so it's swapped. That's not a thing you have to do. The engine tuning comes down to one thing, and that is how much power you need, and that depends on your drift style. A low power car doesn't handle long uphill corners, for example. It handles better in a parking lot, basically. So it depends where you want to use your car. Me myself like to have a car that got between 700 and 1000 brake horsepower. Nitrous are very nice to have if you lose too much speed in a corner and you can press the nitrous to gain some more speed again, but I recommend you all use the small ones instead of a big one, since you cannot cancel the nitrous when you have already pressed it. That will totally ruin your whole section. Brakes and clutch, you can use the best part you have, of course. The most important part is suspension, tires, drivetrain and gearbox. For starters, use speed cross parts for suspension, tires and drivetrain. That's the best way to start the drift tune. From there you can try to make speed cross parts with showcase parts to see how the car handle when you start mixing the parts. I will recommend not to use any sort of drift parts. With drift parts the car oversteer too much, but at the same time without drift parts you will earn less drift points. But for me it's much more important to have a drift car that works rather than gaining some drift points. In this video I'm using track suspension and the rest is on speed cross. So when you have reached that point where you feel you can manage to drift like a pro, not like a pro, but you manage to drift well, okay? You can start mixing like me track parts or other parts. Don't take me wrong, I'm not a pro in drifting in this game. I just know how to practice the best way with the best parts. So start with speed cross parts and take it from there. Okay, so if you have any questions, just leave them below. Don't hesitate. I will try to answer you as fast as possible. Gearbox, once again, it depends on your drift style. It also depends on the car. Here you just have to test what's the best gearbox for you. If you're using a manual, you should go for 6 or 7 speed. If you are using automatic, you should go for 4 or 5 speed. Not all cars has 4 speed as an option. If you have any questions, leave them below so we can help each other. Also, if you have any good tips for other players or me, leave them below. The video I will play now is a very old video, in fact. This was very early in my drifting career in this game, so I wasn't the best at that time, but I hope you will understand somehow how everything works. The reason I did put this clip on this video is because that was basically my first how to drift video, but I did cut the first part and the last part on that video, and I did record this basically, since I got some more information around the drifting in this game, so enjoy! Steer sensitive on high, downforce on low, traction off, drift style gas. I cannot lie, it's very hard for me to explain how you guys are going to use your controller when you're drifting, but I will do the basic with you guys. Of course, if you double tap your gas, the car will start drifting, but and as wider as you drift, as more point you get. That's the basic. And if you come up to a hairpin corner, for example, you can use your e-brake to flick your car around and start drifting easily. You can also use the e-brake, just tap it once and you will most of the time start drifting. This is actually something you just have to practice on. Yesterday I did all the drift activities. At the start I was not that good, in fact, but at the end, when I had done 35 drift events, activities, I'm starting to get the hang of it. So just do the drift activities and you will eventually get better to drift. You just need to practice a lot. This game, I will be honest, this game is not a good drift game. But if you can get a hang of it, it will get much funnier to drift. Double tap again, and it doesn't matter if you get out of the track or something. But if you hit a hard object or something, the bonus will be removed. This wasn't actually a very good drift track, but it works. I can feel that this car works better in high-speed drifting. Just started to drift like 2 days ago, but anyhow, with some more practice I of course can be better, and you just have to practice yourself as well. But I hope I did help you a lot with the parts and stuff like that. Because that's the important thing to get the hang of this. It's to choose the right parts. I kind of want to try out another one. Oh, there was this messy track. I don't quite like this track. Oh, I actually often use the e-brake and the double tap in the corners. So you just have to play around what the car does when you're doing pushing the e-brake and double tapping, all that. Because all the cars will not be the same in handling. So you just have to test it out. If you got the counter steer, you can tap the e-brake to straighten up the car again. I often do that as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below for weekly uploads on this channel. See you next one. Have a nice day. Peace out.